Hey, this is Yngwie Malmsteen. You listen to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
What's up, Delicious Faithful? Bruce Moore here from the Brutally Delicious podcast. And I want to introduce you to our friends over at Hickey. That's right, I said Hickey. But with most of us out there starting to get to shows and life starting to get back to normal, the one thing you want to think about is the mosh pit, where you can bang with your brother in your leather jackets and your denim jackets, but you're gonna sweat. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna sweat. Hickey is for anybody who sweats. They have built a line of vegan, cruelty-free products that reflect the daily needs of real bodies in motion, and not just for their underarms. And because their products are all natural, they are extremely versatile and can be used anywhere on the body. Hickey is not just a product, it's a community, like the metal community. People that come together to feel heard, included, safe, and to be exactly who they are. So before you head out the door and resume your semi-normal lives, check out Hickey and get the products you need to keep your body from perspiring and sweating, especially at those shows. You can find Hickey at hiki.com. I encourage you to head over there now, order you some supplies, and we'll see you in the pit. Keep it metal. Hello.
Bruce.
Hey, how are you, my friend?
Yngwie Malmsteen.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Just before we even get started, long-time fan, and I seen you, I think, in New York on Long Island at the Rio Theater with Alcatraz for the first time.
Wow, 84.
Is that 84? You remember it?
It could be 83.
Yeah, that's probably about right. I mean, I was just finishing high school or somewhere around there, so.
Yes, it was definitely not after 84.
And then I think
I left the band in July 84.
Wow. Yeah, and then I saw you a couple times at Lemoore. Remember that place?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I'm old school.
That was, yeah, he wasn't. I don't know what to say about that one.
As a matter of fact, I think we had to get fake IDs to see you at Lemoore the first time because we weren't, drinking age was like 19 or something and we couldn't get in.
Wow.
So yeah, that's way, way back. Anyway, sorry. We're here to talk about Parabellum, so thank you for taking the time. Going over the notes that I made, you mentioned that recording of this record was very fluid and different from the way you've approached the other ones. How do you think the outcome changed from your previous records or stands out from your previous records, doing it that way?
I mean, the thing is that for the longest time, I've kind of like learned how to harness, you know, the inspiration where it's when it happens, you have to capture it type of thing, you know. Mm-hmm. But it's always been some sort of compromise, some sort of diluted version, almost always. This album is by far the most 24 karat pure Yngwie Malmsteen. This has no. I didn't even play the songs for my family.
Really?
No one heard my stuff until it was done.
Wow. And is that
except for the engineer, but that doesn't count.
Right. And is that because of the current conditions we were living in? You had that opportunity?
No. Okay, so basically, I built my own recording studio in '95. And by that, I don't mean a computer with a mouse and a fucking microphone. You know,
right.
This is a proper recording studio. Originally, I had 2-inch tape, you know, the analog tape and stuff, right. But now it's Pro Tools now. But I still have the big consoles and tube outboard gear and stuff. It's like all proper, and the big live room with the amps going. I call it Room of Doom. It's like full stadium volume. So I have the luxury of going to the studio when I'm inspired. I don't have to worry about timing or micing shit up and getting it all right. So basically, you know, whether there's a pandemic or not, I go in there when I'm inspired. If I'm not, I don't. Okay? Mm-hmm. So but normally what I do, I go in and record something. And the beauty with it is that if I record something that is like on the spur of the moment, I can use it because it's it's real. The thing is that when the inspiration happens, it's not something you can turn on and off. I can turn shit on and off if I have to. I really can, but I don't consider that the real thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I like to wait for it to be, and on stage is very good because there's so much inspiration from the audience and so on. But in the studio, so I have to I let it like totally, sink in. I mean, like happen by itself basically, and capture it as much as I can. So with this pandemic thing, what happened was I was on the tour. I was on the world tour. In fact, I was in Mexico. It was March 2nd, I believe, last gig, 2020.
Oh wow!
And the agents called and they said, "Well, we're gonna have to push this back for like 2 weeks." All right, whatever. So I went home. Yes, it's 2 weeks. Yeah, my ass. So after a while, I just started going in the studio as I felt inspired. I didn't say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna make an album." It was just, and then as time went on, obviously I realized that this is gonna be on. I just, it was very natural. It wasn't like I said, "Oh yeah, I have to record now," whatever.
Right.
It was just like a natural thing, and it was so many things that kept like 80, 90, maybe 100 ideas, And I would take them and I would listen to them in the car, and I would be like, letting it expand on it and change it and move it around and add on it.
Gotcha. Do you find that?
So I don't think it was that different than before. It's just that this time I had the luxury of living with it, and if I felt like, well, I want to change something, I could. Whereas a lot of times I've done records where I go, oh man, I would have done that different now.
Right.
That never happened here.
Right. When you are, you're 21 years into your career, 21 records into your career and so many years in, do you find it difficult, I guess, not writing the same record? Does that make sense?
Oh my God. I wouldn't even imagine doing something like that. The thing is this: you have 8 notes in a natural scale. I have 12 notes in a chromatic scale in one octave.
Right.
Okay. You can play freeform jazz all day long, or you can stay within a pentatonic 5 notes per octave scales, like many people have done for the last 60 years or so. And that's fine too. As far as every time I have the guitarist feels new,
Right.
So I would never consider saying that we need to making the same record. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, no, I know, but I didn't know if sometimes you have to consciously make an effort to keep the influence.
The thing is that the beauty with the situation I'm in, which I'm very grateful for. I even wrote a song about how grateful I am. It's the fact that I've been pretty much compromised less. I've done some compromises in the past, but I think maybe that's just part of the cycle of what you have to live through. What do you have to do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do.
So, so you live and learn, so to speak. But the thing is that I don't say, oh yeah, I'm gonna write a heavy metal song now. Well, I'm gonna write a fast song. I'm gonna write a ballad now. No, it just happens. It happens by itself. I could, if you asked me to do it, I could write you a country western song right now.
Right.
Back in 5 minutes.
Right.
No problem. But I don't like doing that. I like it to be completely honest, like completely from within,
right.
But maybe inspired by something that I don't even know what it is, So.
Okay. So continuing with my questions here in the bio that I picked up, I think one of the things that interests me the most, and it's something I've been preaching to the choir about on this podcast forever, is you consider the album like a full piece of art, song to song,
yes.
Instead of this one single bullshit that the world has taken over, including my sons. They just want let me get the 99-cent song now and forget it. But I think there's a whole art form missing, and you speak right to what I've been saying for years.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you seem to be of age. You remember when you bought a record, you would bring it home and turn the lights down a little bit and open up the packaging and then put it on and let's look at the cover pictures and you listen to it, and then you turn it over, listen again, listen on the other side. That to me, I always felt that that's like sort of like a little journey, you know.
Yes.
And so I like to make this record in particular. I sequenced it in a way where it's sort of like no songs in the same tempo, same key, same feel, whatever, in a row, you know. So it's like it's basically a little journey. You know, you have to go through a few things to get to another side, you know. So I don't know how to explain it.
I think sequencing is an art that has like completely disappeared almost.
To me, it's extremely important.
Yes, I 100% agree, and I agree with what you're saying about sitting down and listening to the record. I mean, I used to read the liner notes and figure out, you know, where it was recorded, who the assistant was,
exactly,
who you thanked, even though I don't know any of these people, but it was the process. Every Tuesday you go to the record store and you get the shit, and it's the next 5 hours. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a big part of it. And everybody had like a big stereo system, you know, not listening on a fucking phone, you know.
Right.
You got like a big hi-fi, you know, with the Technics turntables,
yes,
and fucking woofers and JBLs, and you it was like an experience, you know. It was awesome.
And nobody could bother you for the next couple hours while you went through the whole thing.
No, you just bother everybody else.
Yeah, you were 100% right. 100% right. So I just lost my train of thought here. Hold on one second. I had one more.
It's all right. I lost mine a long time
ago. What was I going to ask you? We talked about that. Oh, yeah, one more I have for you. I found it interesting with the sampling of the Magnum gun. Can you tell me about that?
Well, okay, so what happened was, back in 1986, it was maybe a couple of years before then, but in 1986, I decided to sample my 357 Smith & Wesson 357 Magnum pistol and trigger it with a snare drum. This was with on the Trilogy album. So I brought a 357 Magnum in the studio, and we had a big, like a stump, like a tree stump, and I would fire the gun with a hollow points and everything, and the sound, the microphone ceased on it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And this was a long time ago, and people obviously thought I was totally crazy, you know. But on this one, I actually managed to do it. I used the Beretta 9mm, and it was great sound. You know, I used it for a few times, actually, in the snare shot. With the transposition of the Paganini piece, I'm using in Magic Bullet, a few other places, you know. So it was just something I always wanted to do, and I finally got the time to do it.
That's pretty interesting. And then lastly, what's it going to be like being, or I don't know, are you out on the road already? What's it like being out?
I'm leaving Monday morning.
What's it going to be like to get out there? Any sort of...
Yeah, well, we've done a few tours, few gigs already in Texas and Florida and places like that, where everything's... The free states, not socialist, communist, Marxist states, you know. The free states were, God bless America, the land of the free, home of the brave, you know.
Right.
All this fucking socialist fucking bullshit. If you like that, you can go to Cuba.
Yeah.
You know, this is America. Get used to it. So I played actually a gig in Vegas. I played in a few gigs, you know, here and there. But this is gonna be the real deal, you know, a big ass tour.
Are you excited or nervous or hesitant or?
No.
No.
Well, I'm excited, of course. I want to make it the greatest tour. I want to give it the greatest shows.
Yeah,
I'm not nervous. The other way around.
Yeah.
So the guys in Generation X always laugh because it's like 15-20 minutes left before we go on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go into their dressing room and say, when are we going to do this shit? Come on, man, let's go. Come on, what the fuck we're waiting for? Let's go. I'm like, I'm just chomping at the bits to go on. You know, I'm not nervous, no.
That's great. So that's all that runs me to the end of my questions. I told them I'd keep it under 20, so we're right there.
All right, I appreciate it.
I will be catching up with you here in Richmond in I think a week or two.
Yes.
Be well. I'll catch you here in Richmond in a couple weeks. Travel safe.
I can't wait.
Thank you, my friend. All right, bye.
Bye.